You did everything right. That's the part that nobody warned you about. You hit the numbers, you built the thing, you achieved everything you set out to achieve. You became the person everyone said you were supposed to become. And somewhere in the middle of all of it, maybe in the car at 11 o'clock, maybe in a meeting when everyone's looking for an answer, a quiet voice goes, "Is this it?" And here's what I need you to hear before anything else. That voice is not malfunctioning. It's not wrong. Everyone's going to tell you to fix it, and they're wrong. That voice that's in your head, that's the most honest thing about you right now. So let me tell you what this actually feels like, because most people describe this completely wrong. It's not depression. You can still function. You're still high performing. You still show up. You deliver. You're still the one holding it all together for everybody else. From the outside, nothing's wrong. And that's what makes it so isolating. Because how do you explain to anyone that that you have to live the life you spent 20 years building and it feels like you're lost? It shows up as a kind of flatness. The wins don't land the way they used to. You close the deal, you get the recognition, and there's this half second where you wait to just feel it, and it just doesn't come. So you go looking for the next big thing, the bigger goal, the new venture, another optimization of high performance. And that may work for a short while. The chase quiets the voice, but it always comes back. And every time it's come back, it's coming back louder and louder. And the worst part is the part you don't say out loud is the disappointment, not in your life, but in yourself. Why isn't this enough? I have everything. What's wrong with me? Why aren't I satisfied anymore? I want to stop you just right here because, as I said, there's nothing wrong with you. And before I go anywhere, let me say the thing you're actually afraid of, because nobody names it. You think if you listen to this feeling that you'll lose it all, that the voice is asking you to burn it all to the ground, to quit, to walk away, to give it all back, everything that you've built, the life you've had, give it all back. That's the real terror underneath it. That's why you keep shoving it down further and further, because everyone who talks about this stuff seems to want you to renounce it. Sell the company, give away the status, go find yourself, go just live in a cave. This is not asking you to lose what you have. I'm actually doing something different. I'm asking you to expand on it. The version of you that built all of this, it isn't wrong. It hasn't failed you. It has simply reached the end of its usefulness. It's done its job. And something in you is asking you to take it much, much further, not take it away. That's not a breakdown. That's an initiation. You just don't have the language for it because everyone's telling you it's wrong or you're having a midlife crisis. So here's the mistake also. It's not your fault because it's baked into everything you've been taught. You've been handed literally one tool your whole life. Fix it. Something feels off, you diagnose it, you optimize it, you solve it. That tool built everything you have right now. So when you get this feeling, it shows up, you do the only thing that you know how to do. Treat it as a problem and you try and solve it. So you go looking for the fix and you look at the menu they hand you. The GP says it's a generalized anxiety. Here's a script. Let's medicate the signal. The executive coach says, let's optimize harder, raise the standard, perform your way out of this, which just literally is asking that exhausted part of you to just run faster. And then there's a spiritual crowd, the breath work, the retreats, the meditation circles. They sell you, find yourself again, but except what they're really selling is renunciation. Give away the success, give away the status, because being in corporate is evil. I know, because I got kicked out of 2 meditation groups just for wearing a suit. Like, I'm seriously not joking. Apparently, you can't find your soul in a blazer. And that's the whole con right there. They've decided that what you've built and who you really can't be, you can't live in the same body. That they don't match. That you have to choose achievement or meaning. That the deal underneath all of this, is the same. To get to that depth, you have to give it all up, all your life, everything. That's a complete lie. And it's the most expensive lie a high achiever ever buys. Because this was never a problem to fix. So medicating it just silences the one honest emotion and feeling you've got. And it was never asking you to renounce anything. So giving it away doesn't answer the call either. It just leaves you lost and empty-handed. You're taking a toothpick to a baseball game again. Wrong tool every single direction you turn. So what's really happening here? For the first half of your life, you built the structure, the identity, the achievements, the proof. That's completely necessary. It's not wrong. You needed to become that person and somebody. That's the game. But the structure's finished. And the part of you that built that, the part of you that knows how to perform, optimize, achieve, it's run out of road. It's done its job. It's not wrong. It's just done. And now something underneath it is completely waking up. Something doesn't care about the next milestone. So there's where the disillusionment comes in. And the word disillusionment literally means to remove the illusion. So you're not losing your way. You're actually, the illusion itself is dissolving. The illusion that the next achievement was ever going to fill it. And that's sometimes painful because you genuinely believed it would. We all do. I thought it did, right? I did it. But this is the initiation. Every old culture had a name for it. It was a threshold, a person, you reach where things have come to an end, and the person you're becoming, can start to arrive. We got rid of most of this stuff. So the most capable people, when they hit this moment, the only word they've got for it is, midlife crisis. And it's a thing to be medicated or managed or fixed or renounced. Either way, you lose the thing that's telling you the truth. And an initiation is actually great news. It doesn't subtract, it expands. That new version of you doesn't lose the company, the status, the life you built, the relationship, the money. It keeps all of it and runs it from somewhere internally aligned instead of somewhere driven from an empty space. Same assets, completely different operating system or identity. That's what's on the other side of this. Not less, it's more. It's finally pointed it to something real. And look, I've worked with a lot of people, and I worked with a founder at one stage. Literally got an 8-figure exit. Came to me because I should be the happiest man alive, but I feel nothing. I feel like I'm disappearing. And he'd done everything. He'd done the coaches, the biohacking, the breath work, all of it aimed at one thing: getting the feeling to go away. And literally the first thing I said, we're not going to make it go away. I need you to have this feeling. We're not going to blow up your life either. We're going to listen to it. You kind of looked at me and went, you're a bit insane. But no one ever suggested that the feeling might be correct, that this was exactly what he needed. And he didn't have to choose between his success and his soul to, honor it. It took a while because I was allowing him to feel something. But when he got it, and usually people always do, he's like, Greg, I spent 2 years and a fortune trying to fix this. It was the only part of me that was really telling me the truth. And that's the point. Was he spent like 250 grand on a coach. It was ridiculous. The disconnection wasn't the disease. It was the cure. Just try and get his attention. So what do you actually do with initiation? Well, here's where it gets rather uncomfortable, because the answer is always the opposite of everything that you've worked for, or it's what people are telling you, right? You don't act on it. Well, not yet. Your instinct will be to blow it all up, quit the company and the marriage, sell everything, fly to Bali and do whatever. But that's not it. That's not what's calling you forward. That's the fix-it tool wearing a spiritual costume in therapy, same panic, new outfit. The initiation doesn't ask you to do something. It asks you to stop and listen, to sit in that disillusionment without rushing to resolve it, to stop performing long enough to hear what's really underneath. Because the part of you that's waking up doesn't speak in 5-year plans. It speaks in the quiet between the words. And you've built a life with no quiet in it on purpose, because the noise was the point. The noise kept the voice away. So the real work isn't another goal. It's learning to be with yourself when there's nothing to optimize. And for high achievers, that's the hardest thing you'll ever do. You'd rather run a marathon than sit in a room with no agenda for 20 minutes and no phone. Because in that room, the question shows up. What is this all for? And you finally let yourself not have the answer, well, just yet anyway. And then slowly the real questions arrive. Not what's the next target, but the really bigger ones, like who am I? Underneath all of this, what do I actually want? What do I want to create? And who do I want to be on the other side of this? Those aren't crisis questions or midlife crisis. They're initiation questions. And the only reason you can finally ask them is you've built enough space to get there. So the next time that voice shows up and asks you, what all of this is for, do not fix it. Don't medicate it. Don't fly to Bali and optimize, perform this shit. Just stop. Listen. It's not asking you to lose what you've built. It's asking you to become the person who can finally use all the stuff you've built, to enjoy it. That's your initiation. Don't waste time on trying to feel better. Be better.